Hello everyone, I am Sasrit Podal and I will be presenting about effective presentation. I understand presentation has become a part of our life. In our college life, in our university life, or even in our careers, we need to present our ideas. It may be to our clients or to our seniors. It holds some major impact on our income as well as our job prospectus. So please stay tuned with my lesson on effective presentation. Initially, I'd like to ask you all a small question. How do we know Joseph Stalin or Steve Jobs? How do you know them? I understand the majority of the answers may be related about their work. Steve Jobs was the founder of Apple, whereas Joseph Stalin was the lead of the Soviet Union and the lead of communism after Lenin. But is it so why we know them? Maybe not. We know Steve Jobs and Joseph Stalin because of their way of presentation. They were able to represent their idea to the mass. They were able to inform the mass what they dreamed, what they aimed for, and what they have produced. They were able to convince the mass, and it is how we know them. Just imagine the day when iPhone 1 was releasing. If Steve Jobs hadn't been able to create that effective presentation of a phone call, of the internet, and of a screen all in one device, how effective was that? Today, iPhone has reached its 15 series. It all started from Steve Jobs doing the very same. Also, imagine how the iron line of control flew through the Korean peninsula. Wasn't it a form of Joseph Stalin's effective communication? Yes, it may have drawbacks for the nation as it led to Cold Wars in multiple reasons. But he succeeded. His vision succeeded. And if you want your vision to succeed, it's a must. And today I'll be teaching you 7 major points you need to consider while making an effective presentation. So let's get started. The first point I want you to understand is you should be clear on your objective. Your presentation can have one objective, can have two objectives, but it cannot have multiple objectives. The objectives are not just something that you say, but they are your commitments. Throughout your presentations, you need to achieve that objective, you need to fulfill it, and then only you can say that your presentation was successful. Always be ready, always confirm what your objective is, and be sure that you deliver it because your objectives are your commitments. The second point I'd like to teach you is about your audience. There are multiple segments of personalities in the market. Not everyone is your audience. Initially, we do feel so that everyone can be our audience, but not so. If I'm doing an advertisement for Kinder Joy, children are my audience, not the old age peoples. If I'm doing an advertisement for beauty products, girls are my audience, not the boys. And in this way, you need to target your audience. How it will help you in your presentation is when you specify your audience, you can be more relating to them, which makes them feel more connected, and in this way you can present them. Interestingly, if your presentation is not audience oriented, the presentation won't have any impact on neither of the generation or the type of people, because it will make them interested at a certain point, but again hitchhike them on another point which you don't want, because you want the audience to grasp you and to understand you. Moving on to the third point, I am to say you use understandable language. I understand we have been doing IELTS course, Duolingo course, and multiple. It has taught us the use of vague words which are not understood by common people. But our audience don't want to waste their energy. Just imagine if you are delivering a speech and the listener needs to Google the words. How long will he Google? Or will he even Google at all? So just remember that your presentation should be so simple that even a child can understand. Don't ever use hard words and make it free flowing. Don't compel the audience. And additionally, if you are using a digital medium, make a feasible color palette. Don't make it too colorful it because it absorbs energy from the eyes. I hope you understand, and I hope you have been relating to what I'm saying, because we all have been doing presentation through a long period of time, have frequent interactions. I understand our presentation can get lonely if we are only speaking. Right now, I am asking you questions, so I guess you can feel me and you can relate to me. You can answer my questions, and hence we are interacting. do not physically, but through a means of the internet, through a means of the social network, through a means of the web. Involve the audience to your presentation. It is the only way how you are going to grab their attention. If not, they'll start scrolling their social media, the TikTok pages, the Insta pages, and start to Google or just watch YouTube reels and all lot of things. A YouTube reels will end in 30 seconds, but you cannot end your presentation in 30 seconds like I need to, because I need to complete 10 minutes. It's my assignment, so I'm teaching you as well as gaining some marks. Let's hope I do get some marks. Please pray for me. Also, don't allow them to feel bored or divert their attention, especially to social media. You need to grasp their attention from social media. The most important point of your presentation would be your conclusion. You'll present for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or half an hour, or even 2 minutes. But what impacts the audience greatly is the conclusion. Remember the speech given by Steve Jobs at Harvard? The entire speech, maybe I don't know what percentage of the population remembers, but the conclusion, stay hungry, stay foolish, it is remembered worldwide. It is a major slogan that flows in the world. How strong of a conclusion was. I previously told you to make your speech so simple, but not the conclusion. Make your conclusion in such a way that the audience needs to ponder what you are saying. Let them think once, let them think twice. Because if you are doing marketing, you won't sell your product by the presentation. You'll sell your product later when the customer arrives to you through your presentation. If you are in networking, the same happens. If you are in a thesis defense, the same happens. And a lot of aspect, the same happens. I hope you can attract the customer once your presentation is complete. Don't just rely on your presentation. Have something that will attract them once the presentation is completed. Additionally, I like you to consider some points while making a presentation. The most important would be to stay flexible. We all present knowing that we have certain things in mind and we want certain things, we'll speak certain things. But don't be so, because in the mass, for example, if you ask me a question which is out of the box, I need to change the pattern of my presentation. I need to change the pattern of my lines. And if I'm rigid, the audience will feel as if I am just a box with no divergence, and they will feel me as someone of low IQ and low intelligence and would not like to deal with me, interact with me, or even trade with me. So you always stay flexible. Additionally, don't speak half words, because it shows you are nervous, and nervousness is a sign of weakness in modern world. So don't be nervous. And at the end, present in such a way that you impress. Don't inform. You'll inform later words. First impress. Thank you.